Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome sadly to another channel update. Now, oh shit, I forgot to change the date for the channel update. God dang it. I'll do that right after I finish filming it, so people who are watching this live, which there probably won't be any, will see a little thing wrong there with the title, while people who watch it later, which is most of you, won't see anything wrong and will wonder what the fuck I'm babbling on about. But anyways, so on Monday, I gave a channel update explaining why there weren't any new videos on Friday. Now, and then at the end, like, okay, we're going to do some new Animorphs chapter, woot woot, and that was the plan. The problem was the internet did not agree with me making videos. Before, after filming that channel update video, so when I started to try to film the next episode of Josh Reads, there was like the internet flaked out, I think like once or twice, but then it was back. I'm like, okay, I'm going to film. Then a little bit into my reading of the chapter of Animorphs number 5, The Predator by Kay Applegate, the internet went out. And usually when I read, I will look at the Kindle and then every now and again glance up, usually to see if the viewers have passed at least to see if I have at least one viewer. That's not usually the case, but I still look up. And so I look up and internet's gone out. I'm like, fuck. And like I usually do, I made sure the link was posted on Facebook and Twitter. And so I was like, oh my god, I mean, if it was just no one able to reach the link without me sending it to them, that'd be one thing, because they couldn't see that nothing was happening. So when the internet didn't go back, I used 4G and I got onto the YouTube app and I deleted that video because I'm like, okay, that's basically trash. Can't do anything of that. Yes. I don't think I could even continue doing the live stream, and even if I could, I wouldn't really want to, just because the quality would be very, very different. So a little bit after I had deleted the failed attempt at video, the internet came back, but it was late enough that like I could. No, I don't think it was even that it's late enough. It was just like, I don't want the internet to crash again. I can't. I'm not going to take a chance of the faulty internet tonight and go, okay, I'll make another attempt, because I was afraid I would start to do all that work and then it would just I would lose internet. But lucky to me that after it came back that one time, it didn't drop off ever again that night. I was like, fuck, I could have gotten work done. Now on Wednesday, I was thinking of doing the dramatic reading, making up then, but I'm like, no, I do the writing live streams and no one really watches those things, but it's the only way I really go forward and making lore for my Flight Rising clan. And and Wednesday was Halloween, but I didn't really do anything for Halloween. Rev Resner's is home and is still recovering, so we didn't really have time to do anything, but we did have a couple friends over. And I should have filmed earlier in the day, but for some reason that wasn't really on the top priority of what I was doing that day. And if you wonder what I do when I'm not filming and when I'm not writing, it's fucking housework. And so I was cleaning up and doing stuff, and I just didn't think to really film because I was like, okay, they'll leave and I'll just film my writing live stream for, and those, since I've cut down the time just so that I, can be more entertaining, and possibly later I will create longer writing live streams where I'm still entertaining. But I don't really, but I still have to, practice on being entertained before I can go like 2 or 3 hours. And I like the first few, I did try to do like 2 or 3 hours, and I would be entertained for maybe an hour, maybe 30 minutes. So yeah, so anyways, nowadays when I do the writing live streams, I try to go on for maybe an hour, maybe 30 minutes, an hour, depending how fast I do the work. And I was like, okay, I can just, it'll only take maybe 30 minutes, an hour. That'll be fine. It'll give me more than enough time to enjoy the dinner, and just hanging out, and, later the rest of the night. But then one of our friends tends to stay as long as he possibly can, and sometimes I mind it, sometimes I don't. It's like, he's a good friend and he does a lot for us. So, you can't really complain if, wants to hang out, because it's like, hey, you do so much already. So, yeah, no. And so anyways, he stayed till probably around midnight. And still, again, the video that I only needed to do would take like 30 minutes, an hour, which means I could wait till like 2 or 3 in the morning. So, no biggie there. And after he goes, I have to, recover from the little bit of alcohol I drank. I drank sake for once I broke that out. And for some fucking reason, shortly before he left and continuing on after he left, I decided to have a panic attack. And so as I've said before, you sort of have to put your health over what you do online. And so I'm like, I just can't do it at the moment because, this panic attack, I laid down, I went to bed early. So yeah, that was that's why no video was recorded on Wednesday. And hopefully today, internet won't fuck up again so I can actually get the 3 chapters out. Fuck. Anyway, okay, now that we finished the sort of update part, I'm on the finale of The Haunting of Hill House, Netflix, on Netflix. It is fucking amazing. I've sort of been talking about it at home, and I don't give too many spoilers to Rev Reznor, but now I've got him intrigued, and it is really well shot, well done. Just, even though it doesn't show things chronologically, it jumps from timeline to timeline, but it makes it so that I can't see that, work being adapted any other way. I've never read the book. I know there's like a book because I always watch the credits, not the credits. I always watch the intro. I'm one of those insane person that goes, "Yeah, I'm going to watch the intro." I always have to. I don't know why. It's like, if I'm watching a show, I can't skip the fucking intro. It just seems really wrong to me. And sometimes I actually have to rewind because they sometimes automatically skip beyond the intro. It's like, no, don't go back. What the fuck are you doing? So yeah, so I know it's adapted from a book, and how it's done in the show, the book source material is done in the show, I just can't really see the material being any other way, because it's sort of, it's sort of hard to describe, but it gives certain scenes a lot more depth than they would have otherwise. Like with the latest It adaptation, they're doing, while the book jumps between timelines, the latest It adaptation does it chronologically. That goes, part 1 is the childhood and part 2 is going to be the adults. And if they sort of did something like that with Haunting of Hill House, like some of the like in episode 9, we finally fucking get to see what happened on the last night. And the episode's shown from the mother's point of view. And in honesty, if it wasn't, if we saw the first night like they were just showing it chronologically, it wouldn't really have as much impact. Because I swear, some of what's said, in episode 9 really only has impact if you've seen the things beforehand, which would be actually later in the timeline. It just, like when the one lady's trying to scare the mother, going, "Hey, look at," no, when like these versions of the kids are saying, "Oh, what if this happens to me and that happens to me?" If you sort of, I actually think rewound that like moment maybe 2 or 3 times, because it's, the children are basically saying what the adult versions did. Just not directly, just sort of metaphorically. It's like, oh my fucking god, that would not have as much impact if we didn't see the adulthood first. So, if you haven't seen Haunting of House Hill on Netflix, you really, 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 really should, because it is awesome. You won't regret it. And before, like the big twist in not chapter, in episode 5, I was already in love with how the horrors dealt, because it wasn't like jump scares every 2 seconds. While there were some big horror moments, it was all about atmosphere, build up, and characters, which I actually prefer in horror. So, but just be aware, there's going to be fucking some mind fucks, and it is a little scary and hard warming too. So, yeah. Oh my god, it's fucking awesome. And, well, until next video, which should be soon, and so I finally get the fucking chapters done. So, have a good night, just in case internet fucks up again. Bye.